So here we're going to talk about how did I become really interested in the writing. So it's probably around like junior year, probably like no, not even junior year. It's probably around like maybe like sophomore. I think sophomore. I think the summer freshman summer leading to sophomore year going. And that's when I was like dealing with a lot of like child abuse situations at my house and shit. Like my stepfather was just like wacko though. Like, you know what I'm saying? He just, I don't know what it was. You know what I'm saying? He just used to beat my ass over the smallest little shit, and I just didn't understand what it was, though. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I felt like he was trying to break me to being something that I wasn't destined to be, basically. You know what I'm saying? See, he came from an upbringing where you work hard, you know what I'm saying, with your hands. You know what I mean? Kind of like that southern thing. Like you work hard with your hands. If you work hard with your hands, you know what I'm saying, you're a real man. You know what I'm saying? Like have a job, you know what I'm saying? Work for somebody type of thing, you know, get a good paying job. That was cool. My mother, she was from Cochran Gardens, the projects in St. Louis. And she was, you know what I'm saying, like really smart, like educated, you know what I'm saying, went to college, you know what I'm saying, everything, got a degree. And she went into like the daycare field, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I see that in my mother every single day. Like I watched her build that. I watched her, I seen her. You know, every day I'm looking at something. Every day she telling me something. I watched that and I seen her create it. I seen where she came from, and then I seen her actually create it, where we actually walked in the building and shit, and seen this dream become a reality, and I was just connected to that. I was just like that was just like I don't know what it was. Like I'm her son, I'm supposed to be connected to that. So I was more entrepreneur. You know what I'm saying? I was more like educated, like get your education like her, but I was more entrepreneur, like you know what I mean, like start my own business type of thing. You know what I'm saying? So even let me give you an example. Even as you know what I'm saying, as a kid, one of the businesses I started was we used to watch a lot of karate. You know what I'm saying, like on Saturdays in Milwaukee in the hood, and black belt theater. All Bruce Lee. Kelly. Jackie Chan and Five Deadly Venoms, all that shit. And then we used to just go out and we used to practice and stuff like on the tree. We used to get these manuals and stuff to show us how to defend ourselves and shit. You know what I'm saying? So it was cool. Like, you know what I mean? A couple of my homies and shit, we used to just practice like all the time with that shit the next morning. And I started learning about the Chinese stars and shit. Like, you know what I mean? The ones that was in the movies where they throw at your ass and shit. So it was cool. You know what I'm saying? So then a lady comes to our school, and and we always had like, you know what I mean, in the inner city you always have like these people who are professionals and stuff, and they come to talk to the students and everything like that and just teach them shit. So it was a Japanese lady, and she was teaching us origami, and the origami led to me figuring out how to make these stars out of paper. So I got the book. I started learning this shit. So my mother was having the daycare center and stuff around the time and everything. So I used to steal her typing paper, and I used to go in a room and I used to have the booklet and shit, and I used to make these origami stars and shit. And then when I made them, the first couple times I didn't know how to do this shit. It was like bad, you know what I'm saying? But after I kept trying and kept trying and kept trying and kept trying and kept trying, I actually perfected it. Like, and then when I thrown it, when I say perfected, I was like, when I throw it, it'll fly across the room like a real fucking star. I was like, damn, this is like tight. So I started doing around in the room or whatever and shit like that. So I just got even more curious. So I ended up taking it to school. And then, I'm a kid, man. I want to fly it in the air and shit, see how it really, really go. So I flew it in the air. Kids will see it, see me pick it up. I fly it in the air, whatever like that. And then it was this one, you know what I'm saying, dude, you know what I'm saying, picked it up. And he was like, you know what I'm saying, he's like, man, this is cool, man. He's like, I'll give you a quarter for it. Just right out the blue without this, like, I just give you a quarter for it. I was like, bet, I take the quarter. Right. So I got the quarter, and I remember going back to to the neighborhood and everything like that. And I remember going to this bakery called Wilbur's Bakery, and I ended up buying me, I forget the donut, man. I ended up buying a donut, and I remember walking past Wilbur's Bakery at that time. You could smell the fucking donuts and shit, right? So you know what I mean. If you a kid and you in the inner city and you ain't eating all day, or you starving, that shit is gonna fuck with you, right? It's gonna even make your hunger pains even worse because you smelling that smell. Everybody know how that smell is, and I used to be one of those kids. I walk by and shit, man. I see kids going in there buying and shit or whatever it may be, coming back out. And I had a quarter and I bought me a donut. And it made me feel good. It made me feel like really cool, though. Like I was like, damn. So it just kind of like fed the hunger with it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And then I end up like getting more paper. And then I had a white girl that was a friend of mine and shit. And I think it was like right around like Christmas time or whatever, like no, a little bit after Christmas. Not yeah, after Christmas when we came back from the break and everything. And then kids come to the school and stuff and they like showing off like stuff they could bring to school to show, like, hey, this is what I got for Christmas. I got this, I got that, I got this, I got that. So during Christmas, I was just making a whole bunch of stars and shit. You know what I'm saying? I was just addicted to it by then. So I remember coming through, and then I remember sitting down with her and shit like that, and she was like watching me with the stars and everything like that, and I was telling her about me doing this, told her about some of the stuff I got, and she had some color markers and shit. So I remember her taking the star, and then she started coloring it, like right in front of me and shit. And then we just talking whatever, and then she colored like 4 or 5 of them. And then I just took the stars and I just, took them with me and everything like that. And then, recess, whatever. And I'm still trying to get my quarter, whatever it may be. You know what I'm saying? And then now I reach in the bag and shit, and it's like these color stars, just like perfectly colored, like all blue and all red and like little designs. And then I pull them out and I see them like, and then when I pull them out, I'm thinking they just the all white ones I got, but people wanted to buy those too. So I was like, hey, Sarah, you got to make something with me. So I ended up splitting the money with her and stuff when we were selling. So now we were selling the color stars was 50 cents and the plain stars was a quarter. So when she put the stars together and everything like that, man, we had like custom like star, like people want black on this side, red on this side, blue on this side, green on this side. One of the end of the stars should be like blue and the other end should be yellow. Like it was like crazy like that, and then we was in business. You see what I'm saying? And that was like my first business. And then it's like my stepfather didn't understand that. He didn't care. He didn't care about the education. I don't know if it's because he didn't take, his education serious. I don't know what it was. I think he was trying to beat me down with this Southern way of being like a slave. And I just had this revolutionary entrepreneur spirit in me. Shit, I just fucking just made this money with these stars and shit like that. And I didn't even tell him. I didn't tell nobody because I thought he was going to beat me or something or try to make me stop. You know what I'm saying? So time go on or whatever like that out of that situation, and then back to the writing part is like all that was occurring, man, me getting my ass whipped, so I didn't want to ever go home. So I used to try to stay after school, and now this is high school. I try to stay after school as much as I can. So they had after school programs, so you could be on the chess club, you could do like human relations, get communication skills. Like you had different things you can like learn in the school. Like they had programs. A lot of kids just didn't ever go to them. They didn't care. They would just leave. But I'll be at school, didn't want to go home. And then it's kind of like, once you go to this, once you join the chess club and everything. So I ended up doing that. Say, oh, once you go over here and do this. So one time they had a writing class and creative writing. And I went in there and, it was just a way of I swear, it's just a way for me. It was just a way for me not to go home. And then the teacher was just super cool. And she was just like telling me like with the writing process stuff, it's like telling a story and being honest with the story. And one of the biggest things is to be able to add the right verbs, to be able to write the right adjectives, to be descriptive, things like that, and just trust your reader basically. So she was like teaching us this stuff, right? So we just had, after doing all the like the practice work and stuff, we supposed to write like our first like paper or something and everything. So after school, I used to go home, walk home, and it's just like the hood. So it's like I see all this crazy ass shit. I see prostitutes. I see the pimps on the block. I see the drug dealers. I hear the gossip. You know what I mean? I'm walking by winos and junkies, and they like, "Hey man, hey young blood, come here, man, come here, hey man, won't you tell this nigga right here, man? Didn't Jordan score some points against the Knicks, blah blah blah, and whatever, you know?" And I like basketball, and I like Jordan. I'm like, "Yeah, he scored." And he be like, "Yeah, man, that's what I'm talking about, man. Give me my money and shit, man. I told you, you know," and just that type of thing. And then after seeing that, I used to go home, and I used to go home, get my ass whipped for some shit or whatever, cry, and then be in the room with that pain. And then I used to remember what I just saw, and I just wrote it down. And so much hatred and so much pain in my heart. And when I just gave her the paper and stuff, she didn't believe I wrote it because it was so descriptive. And I just kept going to the class and just kept going to the class and just kept going to the class and just kept getting better. Just kept getting better and better and better and better and better and stuff. And then